Thinking of moving to Oklahoma City? Let's be honest, this place has its fair share of misconceptions. You might imagine a Dust Bowl town with cowboys on horseback, but here's the deal. People often get Oklahoma City completely wrong. So today, we're going to debunk some common stereotypes and explore some surprising realities about life here in OKC. From shocking facts about the city to hilariously off-base assumptions. Stick around because you might just be entertained by what you learned today. Let's get into it. Thanks so much for joining me here today. On this channel, I talk about all things Oklahoma City and its surrounding suburbs. Whether you're planning to move here or just generally curious about the Sooner State, you're in the right place. And trust me, as someone who's lived here my entire life, I've heard pretty much all of the stereotypes. I mean, sure, I sometimes say, hold your horses if I feel like somebody's rushing me. And I've definitely said, this ain't my first rodeo, 200 or 300 times. And yes, I did one time say, this town ain't big enough for the both of us. But I was talking to my dog Phoenix, and to be fair, he had that look on his face when looking at my burrito. You know the face. But otherwise, we're gonna set the record straight today, and I may just learn you something. But first, if you're thinking of moving to the Oklahoma City area, whether it's in the next few weeks or few months from now, I would absolutely love the opportunity to help make a smooth move right here to OKC. You're gonna find my contact information in the description below, so please feel free to shoot me a call, a text, or an email, or even better, click the link below to schedule a one-on-one video call with me so that we can discuss how I can help you buy that perfect home right here in OKC. All right, let's shake up some stereotypes. First things first, guys, Oklahoma City is a major city. We are not some backcountry podunk town, I promise. In fact, Oklahoma City is in the top 20 largest cities in the US by population. That's right, in 2022, Oklahoma City cracked into the top 20 with just under 700,000 residents, putting OKC just behind Denver, Colorado. And the metro is even larger than that when you consider all of its surrounding suburbs, putting the OKC metro right around 1.4 million. And while OKC may not have an NFL team or a Major League Baseball team yet, we do have an NBA team with the OKC Thunder, and trust me, we're all big fans here. And having a major sports team isn't the only thing that we excel at. We also have a booming economy here in OKC. And with that economy, it's fueled by major industries like aerospace, healthcare, and energy. So as you're planning your move here and you're doing your research, don't be surprised to find plenty of top-tier job opportunities. Okay, this next one might sound like I'm kidding a little bit, but I'm serious when I say we are not all cowboys. While yes, Oklahoma certainly has a rich Western heritage, and look no further than the rodeos that we have here or the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. But despite what many people seem to think, I promise you, we don't all suit up in cowboy boots or a cowboy hat to go to work. I mean, most of us can barely line dance, and by most of us, I definitely mean me. And yet, people still ask if we ride horses to get around. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit with that last one, but quick story time. When I was growing up, my dad lived in Colorado, and as you might imagine, I routinely would visit up there. And on more than a couple occasions, people would actually ask me if I rode a horse to school. I wish I was kidding. Anyway, I hate to break it to you, but you're more likely to find me cruising around in my sedan and wearing Nikes. So if you're at all worried that you're gonna have to trade in your regular shoes for cowboy boots, trust me, take it easy. Okay, this next topic is kind of fun, but it's definitely something that surprises people when I tell them. And that is that OKC is big. And I'm talking about by area. So here's a fun fact. Oklahoma City is actually the 8th largest city in the US by area. It's so big, in fact, that you can fit like 7 major cities inside it. Cities like San Francisco, Boston, Miami. I'll put a graphic on the screen right here. Anyway, don't be surprised when you come out here and you realize just how spread out it is. Now, the flip side of that is you're definitely gonna need a car. Now, the good news is each one of the areas in the city and each of the suburbs kind of act as their own little city, so there's all the amenities that you'll need in each one of these for the most part, but you're gonna wanna get used to the fact that it seems like no matter where you're going, it's gonna take 20 or 25 minutes. And that's just the OKC way. Fun fact alert, we don't only listen to country music here in OKC. And yes, to be fair, Oklahoma has produced some of the biggest country stars in the world. I mean, everyone from Vince Gill, Garth Brooks, to Reba McEntire, Carrie Underwood, Merle Haggard, Woody Guthrie, Toby Keith, Blake Shelton. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I always feel like it's also worth reminding people that OKC has also produced some big music stars across all genres. I mean, after all, Oklahoma City is responsible for such acts like the Flaming Lips, the All-American Rejects, Hanson, Bop, anyone? You know the one. Bop, ba-doo-ba-dop, ba-doo-bop. Anyway, point is, they all have roots here, and there's plenty more where that came from. So if you're into country, trust me, we got you covered there, but if you're more into rock, indie rock, or even pop, OKC's got you covered there as well. Okay, something I often hear from clients when they come to town is, Jonathan, I kind of figured you'd drive a truck. And here's what's funny, I've actually never owned a truck. Also, to be fair, trucks are popular everywhere. You may not know this, but the top 2 selling vehicles across the United States are the Ford F-150 and the Chevy Silverado. And that's true for like several years running. So yeah, you'll see some trucks here, but I promise it's not a requirement. So don't worry, there's no need to swap out your compact car for a monster truck. Although, could you? Because that'd be kind of badass. Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest stereotypes about Oklahoma, and that is tornadoes. Yes, tornadoes are a very real thing, and yes, tornadoes are incredibly dangerous. However, no, we're not running from tornadoes every day here, I promise. I know it may seem like that when you go to Google and type in tornadoes in Oklahoma, but that's just not our everyday reality. In fact, I've lived here in Oklahoma City my entire life and I've never been in a tornado. I don't even have a storm shelter. Now again, that's not to downplay the real danger that tornadoes present. And if you go look up tornadoes in Oklahoma, you're likely to find tons of pictures, and that's because there have been 2 very devastating tornadoes in the last 25 years that have come through here. But otherwise, the vast majority of tornadoes are pretty low grade and the majority of those don't come into the city. Now, I'm not saying don't be concerned at all, but I promise, if you move here, we're gonna keep you up to date on all of that because the meteorologists have some pretty top tier weather machinery. Is that what they call it? I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist, but what I do know is they have some of the best weather technology in the world. Now, if you got any questions about it, I'm happy to answer them, but just for now, just kind of rest easy on it. Now, when people think of Oklahoma, what I'm learning is that they rarely think of good food. But the truth is, we do kind of have a pretty impressive and diverse food scene here. So whether you're into burgers or pizza or, I don't know, something a little more adventurous, I promise Oklahoma City probably has it. And we do have a couple of iconic Oklahoma staples like the fried onion burger, which a couple recommended places for those would be Nick's Grill or Tucker's. There's also a newer place here, kind of a more hip spot called Burger Punk, which I think is amazing. And there's a ton of other local favorites like the Hatch or the Mule. The point is, it's likely you're going to be surprised with how much variety there actually is here. And I promise, you won't get stuck with just fried everything, which is what I'm pretty sure everybody thinks we eat here. Now, when it comes to the list of things that people don't know about Oklahoma City, one thing that comes to mind is a lot of these underrated smaller suburbs. So if that's something you kind of want the inside scoop on, I definitely recommend checking out this video right here. And guys, as always, until next time, I certainly hope to see you soon. See ya.